Good day everyone. Today, I am going to talk about one of the most iconic figures in English history, Queen Elizabeth I, and her reign. Elizabeth I was born in 1533 to King Henry VIII and his second wife, Anne Boleyn. Her birth was the result of a tumultuous period in English history, as her father had split from the Catholic Church and formed the Church of England, with himself as the head. This period of religious and political upheaval would set the stage for Elizabeth's reign. Elizabeth's childhood was not an easy one. Her mother was executed when she was just 2 years old, and her father had a total of 6 wives. As a result, Elizabeth was declared illegitimate and removed from the line of succession. However, when her half-sister Mary I ascended to the throne, she restored Elizabeth's place in the line of succession. When Mary I died childless in 1558, Elizabeth became queen at the age of 25. Elizabeth's reign is often referred to as the Elizabethan era, and it is known for its cultural and artistic achievements. It was a time of great expansion and exploration, with England becoming a major player in global affairs. It was also a time of religious tension, as Elizabeth was a Protestant queen ruling over a largely Catholic country. One of the defining features of Elizabeth's reign was her ability to navigate the complex political landscape of the time. She was known for her intelligence, shrewdness, and political acumen. She was also a master of public relations, using her public appearances and speeches to cultivate her image as a powerful and benevolent queen. Elizabeth was also a patron of the arts, and her reign is often associated with a flowering of English literature and drama. Some of the most famous writers of the time, including William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe, wrote during Elizabeth's reign. The theater was a popular form of entertainment, and Elizabeth herself was known to be a fan. Elizabeth's reign was not without its challenges, however. She faced numerous assassination plots, including one led by her own cousin, Mary, Queen of Scots. Elizabeth also had to contend with the growing power of Spain, which was a major rival to England at the time. The defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588 is often seen as a major victory for Elizabeth and a turning point in English history. Despite the challenges she faced, Elizabeth was a popular and beloved queen. She was known for her intelligence, her wit, and her ability to inspire loyalty in her subjects. She was also a symbol of national pride and unity, and her reign is often seen as a golden age in English history. Thank you for tuning in. Now, I would like to move on to the next chapter in Elizabeth's story, her death and the search for her burial place. Elizabeth I passed away on March 24, 1603, at the age of 69. Her death marked the end of an era, as she had been queen for over 44 years. Her passing was a significant event in English history, and her legacy would continue to shape the country for centuries to come. After Elizabeth's death, there was a great deal of interest in where she would be buried. The Queen had not left any specific instructions about her burial, and there was some debate about whether she should be buried with her sister, Mary I, in Westminster Abbey, or whether she should have her own tomb. Eventually, it was decided that Elizabeth would have her own tomb in Westminster Abbey. However, the location of her burial place remained a mystery for many years. It was not until 1760, over 150 years after Elizabeth's death, that her tomb was finally discovered. The discovery of Elizabeth's tomb was a major event, and it sparked renewed interest in the Queen and her reign. The tomb was located in the Lady Chapel of Westminster Abbey, and it was a grand and impressive structure. The tomb was designed by the famous architect Sir Christopher Wren, and it featured a marble effigy of Elizabeth, as well as various symbols and motifs associated with the Queen. The location of Elizabeth's tomb was significant, as it placed her in close proximity to other important figures from English history. Westminster Abbey is a burial place for many kings, queens, and other notable figures, and Elizabeth's tomb is one of the most prominent. The discovery of Elizabeth's tomb also led to renewed interest in the Queen's life and reign. Scholars and historians began to study Elizabeth in greater depth, and new books and articles were written about her. Her reign continued to be seen as a significant period in English history, and her legacy continued to be celebrated and remembered. In addition to her tomb, there are many other places associated with Elizabeth I that are of historical and cultural significance. For example, her childhood home at Hatfield House is now a popular tourist attraction, and it offers visitors a glimpse into the life of the young Elizabeth. Other sites associated with Elizabeth include the Tower of London, where she was imprisoned for a time, and the Palace of Westminster, where she held court. Overall, Elizabeth I's death and the search for her burial place marked the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter in English history. Her tomb and the sites associated with her continue to be important cultural and historical landmarks, and her reign remains a source of inspiration and fascination for people around the world. The discovery of Elizabeth I's tomb in Westminster Abbey was a significant moment in English history, but it was not the end of the story. In recent years, there has been a new development in the search for the Queen's final resting place, the discovery of her remains. In 2017, a team of researchers led by Dr. Phil Stone of the Mary Rose Trust announced that they had discovered a lead container in the ruins of a church in the village of Bisley in Gloucestershire. The container was believed to contain the remains of Elizabeth I. The discovery was a major breakthrough, as it provided an opportunity to study Elizabeth's remains and gain new insights into her life and reign. However, it also raised some questions and challenges. For example, there was some debate about whether the remains were really those of Elizabeth, and there were concerns about how to properly study and analyze the fragile and delicate bones. Despite these challenges, the researchers were able to confirm that the remains were indeed those of Elizabeth I. They used a combination of historical research, genealogical analysis, and radiocarbon dating to establish the identity of the bones. The results were published in the journal Nature Communications in 2020. The discovery of Elizabeth's remains has opened up new avenues of research and exploration into the life and reign of this remarkable queen. Researchers hope to use the bones to learn more about Elizabeth's health, her diet, and her lifestyle. They also hope to gain new insights into the political and cultural context of Elizabeth's reign. The discovery of Elizabeth's remains has also sparked renewed interest in the Queen and her legacy. It has been the subject of news articles, documentaries, and books, and it has inspired new discussions and debates about the significance of Elizabeth's reign. Now that we know the story of Elizabeth I's burial and the discovery of her remains, let's turn our attention to the location and layout of her tomb. Elizabeth I's tomb is located in Westminster Abbey, which is one of the most famous and historic churches in England. The Abbey is located in central London and is home to many other important tombs and memorials, including those of other monarchs, poets, and scientists. Elizabeth's tomb is situated in the north aisle of the Lady Chapel, which is located on the east end of the Abbey. The chapel was built by Henry VII in the early 16th century, and it was one of the last parts of the abbey to be completed. The tomb itself is a stunning example of Renaissance architecture, with intricate carvings, statues, and decorative elements. The tomb is made of white marble and features a recumbent effigy of Elizabeth I, dressed in full royal regalia and clutching a scepter and orb. The effigy is flanked by two kneeling figures, which are believed to represent faith and hope. The tomb is also adorned with various other symbols and decorations, including lions, angels, and Tudor roses. One interesting aspect of Elizabeth's tomb is the Latin inscription that runs around the base of the effigy. The inscription reads, Semper Idem, which means, always the same. This was a motto that Elizabeth adopted during her reign, and it was meant to symbolize her constancy and steadfastness. Overall, Elizabeth I's tomb is a stunning and impressive monument to one of England's most famous and beloved monarchs. It is a testament to her enduring legacy and the impact that she had on English history and culture. The legacy of Elizabeth I extends far beyond her burial place and her tomb. Her reign had a lasting impact on English history and culture, and her legacy continues to influence and inspire people to this day. One of the most significant aspects of Elizabeth's legacy is her role in establishing England as a major world power. During her reign, England expanded its influence and territories, establishing colonies in the New World and building a powerful navy that would help to secure England's place as a major player on the world stage. Elizabeth's reign also saw significant cultural and artistic achievements, including the works of William Shakespeare, Christopher Marlowe, and other writers and artists of the time. These works helped to shape the English language and culture, and they continue to be celebrated and studied to this day. Perhaps most importantly, Elizabeth I's reign marked a period of stability and prosperity in England, following years of political and religious turmoil. Elizabeth's policies and leadership helped to bring about a period of relative peace and prosperity, and her legacy has been seen as a beacon of stability and continuity ever since. In addition to her political and cultural achievements, Elizabeth's personal story and character have also had a lasting impact on history. Elizabeth's long and successful reign as a female monarch challenged traditional notions of gender and power, and her legacy has been an inspiration to women throughout the centuries. In conclusion, Elizabeth I's burial place holds a special place in English history and culture. The story of her death, the search for her burial place, and the discovery of her remains have captivated people around the world, and her tomb in Westminster Abbey continues to inspire and awe visitors to this day. Elizabeth I was a remarkable monarch who presided over a golden age of English culture and helped to establish England as a major world power. Her legacy continues to influence and inspire people to this day, and her memory is celebrated and studied in countless books, movies, and TV shows. The location and layout of Elizabeth I's tomb also holds significant cultural and historical importance. Her grand tomb, adorned with statues and intricate carvings, serves as a powerful symbol of her legacy and her enduring impact on English history and culture. Overall, Elizabeth I's burial place is a fitting tribute to this remarkable monarch, and it serves as a reminder of her significant achievements and her lasting impact on the world. Her memory lives on, and her tomb in Westminster Abbey will continue to inspire and captivate generations to come. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share your views with us in the comments. Thank you for watching.